You know, as a gamer, there's a lot of things I enjoy wasting money on. It can be consoles such as this one, or even games like, I don't know, this one, or 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 this one. But the one that always gets me are the limited editions of games, especially for someone who adores concept art in games. Throw an art book in there and I'm almost always suckered into buying it. So I thought today might be a bit fun. Let's take a look at some of the collector's editions I own, starting with Degeneracy. Unsurprisingly enough, the kinds of games that are almost always guaranteed to get collector's editions are anime games. This is Senran Kagura Burst Renewal at the Seams edition, a title to rival even Kingdom Hearts games. In it, you'll get a soundtrack perfect for those family car rides, and it even comes in a nice case that I'm almost certain is not okay for YouTube. You'll get some DLC codes and hold on, let me see here. 6 busty besties, 3D mold straps with display stands and metal chains, and they should really probably be putting the word 3D in quotations too, because the only 3D modeled thing on these keychains are the... Well, at least it looks good on the mantle. Oh yeah, there's also the game, but who really cares about that? I got jams to blast! Weirdly enough, this edition just puts the edition a step below it inside a bigger box made specifically for this edition. The only difference between the two are the keychain thingies, so it's a bit strange opening my At the Seams edition to find the tailor-made edition to find the standard edition. Bountiful bosoms bloom again. They can do that? Well, let's say you want weeaboo games, but you don't want it to be sexy. That's where the Kingdom Hearts limited editions come into play. Never mind. Kingdom Hearts has been doing collector's editions for a while now. In Japan, they actually got them starting all the way back with their re-release of the first game, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Here in America, we've gotten a few limited edition systems like the GBA, 3DS, PS4, and while all of these are things I'd like to have in my collection someday, the first limited edition Kingdom Hearts game I got was 1.5 Remix on PS3. I was actually pretty excited for this one when it was announced. They announced it around the same time as they did Kingdom Hearts 3 as a way to replay the series before it came out. You kinda had a while to do that, but announcing an art book alongside this re-release was super cool. There were so many concepts that weren't used for Kingdom Hearts 1 that we might finally be able to see, like more art of Lion Sora, maybe Chernobog as the main villain, unused worlds like the Toy Story world, so I'm excited. Let's see some really cool art. What is this? Why is the art book the case? Why is there so little actual concept art in this book? In their announcement for it, they flat out show pages that aren't even in the book. You get 2 pictures of Lion Sora that's been on the internet for ages, a bunch of finalized renders and artwork, and that's it. It doesn't even bother including anything from 358 over 2 days. It at least has a picture from Rechain Memories. This whole thing just feels lazy. Also, I don't know if it's just a me issue, but the cardboard slipcase is extremely fragile, and I feel like I take pretty good care of my games. Well, let's hope the sequel fares better. Here we have the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix Limited Edition, also on PS3. This one has a bigger box, so I imagine that means we'll probably be getting a bigger art book. Who knows, maybe even the soundtrack or something. Okay, so all you get with 2.5's limited edition is a pin. Now, granted, as someone who likes collecting pins from Disneyland, having an official Kingdom Hearts pin is actually kinda cool. But it's just kinda weird that you have all this empty space in the box just for a pin. There's a ton of extra space at the top that goes completely unused for no good reason. Well, let's continue the pin trend. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue also only includes a pin, as does the 1.5 and 2.5 remix on PS4, except this one is stupid. For some reason, Square Enix decided to make this pin and this pin only exclusive to the Square Enix store. See, all the other collections, while they said limited edition, were actually fairly easy to find after release, and honestly they still are. This one, well, okay, I'm not saying someone spent $150 on it to get the only pin in their collection that they didn't have, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now see, I may have complained about these a bit, but at least for the most part, it's harmless. You got the limited edition for no extra charge simply by pre-ordering the game. Now this, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Deluxe Edition. This one kind of combines all the previous limited editions into one thing. You get a pin, an art book, and a steelbook case. The art books are usually the main reason I get these things. The pin is pretty nice, as is the steelbook. I've always liked the whole black plaid aesthetic Kingdom Hearts 3 had. The art book... I think this is actually worse than 1.5's. Okay, so I already voiced my opinion on the lack of any real concept art in 1.5's art book. How do you think I feel about 3's having absolutely zero unused or changed content in it? The whole reason I love art books is because I get to see what developers changed, what they thought worked, and what didn't. When you fill it only with finalized designs, you miss a big reason why people love art books to begin with. Half the pages are just 3D renders, and even then, they're bad 3D renders. Like, visibly blurry, how did they release it like this bad? And I especially don't get this because this was $20 more! You're paying for this one! What happened here? Can Square just not do good art books? Well, no they can, because then they released the Final Fantasy VII Remake Deluxe Edition. This one comes with the game, a steelbook case, soundtrack, and an art book, and the art book is actually great. Lots of artwork for the characters, enemies, weapons, a lot of sketches of towns, and minimal finalized 3D renders. This is a pretty neat little art book. And now if there's one company that knows how to make good art books, it's Nintendo. This here's Zelda Link's Awakening Dreamer Edition. In it you'll get the game, an art book, and that's it. It'll cost about $10 more than if you just got the game, and this just puts that Kingdom Hearts 3 art book to shame. Loads of beautiful artwork, a bunch of interesting designs showing slightly different art styles under consideration. It's a beauty to look through. Another one of Nintendo's that I have is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition Definitive Works Set. It comes in this kinda neat cardboard sleeve with Monato's design on it, and in that you get the game and art book. This one is a bit more expensive than the Link's Awakening one at $20 more than the base game, but this one is even more impressive. Tons of artwork, not just from Definitive Edition, but for the original game as well. Lots of storyboards in the back, and an honestly really impressive amount of pages. It was well worth the extra $20 I spent for it. I do kinda wish we also got Europe's limited edition. That one had a mini vinyl soundtrack style like the Monato. And in the same vein, Link's Awakening had a really cool looking steelbook for the original Game Boy, but I'm more than happy with what we got. There's also this Super Mario Maker that comes with an art book. While not technically a limited edition, I'm not even sure if they sold it brand new without it, it's a neat little coffee table type book full of fun things to look at, and even to look at Nintendo's design philosophy with the original Super Mario Bros. But Nintendo's for babies and wimps. I need the limited edition to waste money on that's for normal adults like myself. For normal adults. Well, might I interest you in Shooty McShoot Game? With every yearly release of a shooter game, you can almost always bet a million different editions come with it. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Hardened Edition, releasing for $20 more than the regular edition. With it, you get this admittedly kinda nice looking outer case, a steelbook, soundtrack, theme, a DLC map, and that's it. No season pass, just those things. Nope, for the season pass you have to upgrade to the Care Package Edition, which are $180. You get everything from the Hardened Edition, the shitty drone, and no season pass. You're telling me that for $120 more than the original game, you can't even be bothered to throw in your own season pass? Where did the extra $100 go? The styrofoam for the drone wings? Even Destiny had its season pass. Even Destiny! A lot of shooter games nowadays, instead of doing a physical collector's edition, will instead do a digital collector's edition. This, I don't really get. You're spending upwards of $100 for a digital game and downloadable content, and I know it may be the collector in me, but when I'm spending that much money on something, I prefer to have something tangible to display or put on the shelf. There's also this Halo 2 limited edition that I have where I'm missing everything aside from the case that makes this limited edition. So those are just a few of the collector's editions that I have. There's a lot more that I do have and a lot more that I'd like to have. For example, off the top of my head, the Take Your Heart edition of Persona 5, I like to have that one. I think that's a really cool bag. The Mark of Mastery edition of Kingdom Hearts 3D, just to kind of complete my Kingdom Hearts collection. The gold cartridge of Ocarina of Time. But a lot of them are weeb games. I don't really want to fill up my room with weeaboo stuff, you know, make people think I'm some sort of degenerate. But I mean, I could.